She never left. Amira woke to silence. The other side of the bed was cold, the sheets still tucked in. Layla hadn't come home. Again. By noon, the police had been through their flat. Polite, but dismissive, searching half-heartedly, bagging Layla's clothes, her phone charger, her favorite scarf. They told Amira not to worry. She probably needed space, one officer said, as if friendship could dissolve overnight. But Amira knew. Layla wouldn't just walk away, not from her. The first sign came 2 nights later. Amira was curled on the sofa, the glow of the TV painting her face in pale blues. She hadn't eaten, hadn't slept properly since Layla vanished. Her eyes were glazed, half-focused on the flicker of a cooking show she wasn't really watching. That was when she saw it, the scarf, draped casually over the armrest, as if Layla had just tossed it there a moment ago. The same floral scarf the police had sealed in an evidence bag. Amira's breath hitched. She reached for it slowly, her fingers brushing the soft fabric. It smelled faintly of jasmine and rosewater, Layla's perfume, ephemeral, delicate, and irrefutable. The second sign arrived as she sat in bed, eyes burning from lack of sleep. Her phone vibrated. A text. From Layla's number. "I'm here." Her fingers shook as she typed back. "Where?" She stared at the phone, her thumb hovering, her pulse pounding in her ears. The room felt suddenly smaller, oppressive, as though the walls had leaned inward. Her reflection in the darkened window looked back at her, hollow-eyed, trembling. When no reply came, she whispered to the silence, "Where are you, Layla?" The only answer was the faint buzz of the fridge in the kitchen, and her own shallow breathing. By the third sign, Amira stopped telling anyone. Friends had started avoiding her, whispering that she was losing it. Even the detective had warned her to separate grief from imagination. But imagination didn't unlock laptops. Amira had come home to find Layla's laptop open on the desk, their song playing, the one they screamed out at karaoke, laughing until their throats ached. Amira had never known the password, yet the screen glowed, lyrics scrolling across it, her name highlighted in the chorus. Her chest tightened. Layla wasn't gone. She couldn't be. The music filled the room, warm and familiar, clashing with the chill crawling up Amira's spine. The lyrics spilled from the laptop speakers, their anthem, the one they'd screamed until their voices broke. She could almost see Layla, hair tangled from dancing, eyes glittering with mischief, singing into an imaginary microphone. The memory was so vivid, Amira's vision blurred. Her hands gripped the edge of the desk, knuckles whitening. She felt it deep in her bones. Layla was here. The whispers came next. At night, faint as the brush of a curtain. Her name. Amira. She would sit upright, heart hammering, but the flat was empty. Once, she followed the sound to Layla's diary, left open on her desk. A new entry filled the page. The handwriting was Layla's. The date was yesterday. I never left. Sleep-deprived, desperate, Amira scrolled through her phone gallery, searching for something to tether her mind. Her fingers dragged clumsily across the cracked screen, eyes stinging from the burn of too many sleepless nights. Photo after photo blurred together. Smiles at cafes, beach trips, messy flat selfies, all sharp reminders of a life that suddenly felt like it belonged to someone else. And then she stopped. Then, the last image wasn't familiar. It was her, curled under the duvet, hair sprawled across the pillow. She hadn't taken it. In the window behind her, faint and ghostly, Layla's reflection stood watching. The next night, her phone rang. Caller ID, Layla. Amira's throat closed. She answered. Nothing but static. And then faintly, laughter. The sound pulled her out of the flat, down dark streets, until she found herself outside the abandoned warehouse they used to sneak into as teens. Her breath steamed in the night air, Inside, the air was damp, thick with mildew. The warehouse groaned with age, every step echoing hollow against concrete floors. Rusted beams loomed above, dripping condensation. The air smelled of mold and stagnant water, thick enough to cling to her throat. Shadows swelled in every corner, tenebrous and shifting, their shapes distorting beneath her torchlight. The deeper she went, the colder it became, as though the building itself exhaled against her skin. A staircase yawned before her, leading down. In the basement, she found it. Layla's bag, her perfume bottle, her diary, all arranged carefully like a shrine. On the far wall, carved deep into the concrete, were 3 words. I never left. Layla, Amira whispered. Her voice cracked. It's me. I'm here. Silence. The air pressed in, heavy, disquieting. She dropped to her knees, clutching the diary to her chest. Tears blurred her vision. She could feel her friend in the room. Close. So close. By the time the police arrived, they found Amira alone in the basement, muttering to the walls, eyes wide with certainty. She's here, she kept saying. She never left. Their torches swept the concrete, the abandoned belongings, the scarred words glinting faintly back at them. The beams of light cut through the dust hanging like ash. When the light struck the carving, the scratches seemed fresh, edges raw, as though someone had gouged them only moments before. The letters glistened faintly, as if wet. The officers exchanged uneasy looks, but Amira only smiled faintly, rocking back and forth, whispering, "See, she's here."